Good afternoon, and welcome to the Lincoln City Council meeting of Monday, September 9th, 2024. Please be advised a copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted at the back of the chambers by the northwest door. Let us all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a short moment of silent meditation, and remain standing if you are able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The order of business of the City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda. Under public hearing, anyone wishing to speak on an item must first register and sign in at the table located in the lobby. The council shall require any member of the public addressing the council to identify themselves, the name of any organization represented by such person, and their address, unless the address requirement is waived to protect the security of the individual. Each speaker should state whether they are speaking in favor or in opposition to the item, and testimony is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Anyone wishing to speak on an item should come forward after the clerk reads the item and the applicant has presented. After public comments, the applicant may make one short rebuttal. After all public hearings, the council will vote on resolutions and items listed under third reading. On the second and last Mondays of the month, immediately prior to the adjournment, anyone may speak on an issue not on the agenda for that date nor on a future agenda. We ask that all speakers strive for civility and allow the business of council to proceed unimpeded. Madam Clerk, will you please call the first item of business?
Our first item of business today is our consent agenda, sections 1, 2, and sections 3.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak on an item on the consent agenda? Anyone here to speak on an item on consent? All right. Seeing no one coming forward for items listed under 1, 2, or 3, we will proceed to the vote. Madam Clerk.
Item 1A is approving a professional services agreement supplement number 2 for preliminary engineering services between the City of Lincoln and WSP USA Inc. for A Street between 40th and 56th Streets Rehabilitation Project, introduced by Weber.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1B is approving a professional services agreement supplement number 1 for environmental services between the City of Lincoln and WSP USA Inc. for A Street between 40th and 56th Streets Rehabilitation Project, introduced by Weber.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1C is approving the distribution of funds representing interest earnings on short-term investments of idle funds during the month ended July 31st, 2024, introduced by Beckius.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Madam Clerk.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Items 2A through 2C were introduced by Schob.
So moved. Second?
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? All right. Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Carlson,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
All right. Next item of business, our public hearing on liquor resolutions.
I'll call items 4A and 4B together. Item 4A and B is application of Arango Investments LLC, doing business as Gray's Craze Lenox Village for a Class D liquor license located at 4500 South 70th Street, Suite 112, and the related manager application of Brian Schuker.
Jamie Arango on behalf of Arango Investments, 4500 South 70th Street, Suite 104 in Lincoln.
All right. Good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you.
All right. You want to tell us a little bit about your business? I don't think we've had this before in Lincoln.
We are a charcuterie store, so we sell charcuterie boards and boxes that we now want to pair with some wine and some scotch and some whiskey.
All right. Are there any questions for the applicant?
And I have one.
Okay, Councilman Duden.
Just a note, I think on our agenda, it says Suite 112, and you said 104.
And it has been corrected to 104. And Brian Shukar is actually our property manager for the actual location, but he's not the liquor manager. So I am actually the liquor manager for the location.
Strike Brian and put Jamie.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Noted. Good catch. All right. Any other questions for the applicant? All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Best of luck. Is there anyone here who'd like to comment on this application? Anyone here to comment on this application? All right. All right. Would you, knock on the door?
Come and knock on my door.
I'll call item 4C and 4D together. Application of The Stitch LLC, doing business as The Stitch, for a Class I liquor license located at 1140 O Street, and the related manager application of Rachel McGill.
Good afternoon, council members. Jessica Greenwald, 1248 O Street, Suite 890, on behalf of the applicant here. And I just want to make one correction. It is The Sitch, not Stitch. No, it's okay. We did the same thing at our office, actually. And Mr. Beckius did this. So anyway, it's going to go into the old Gravity space, which is also formerly the old Mars Bar over there. Rachel is the applicant and is currently the owner-operator at Dish Restaurant. So she's looking to start a new bar with small plates as well over in that space, and just, kind of elevate the space over there in Lincoln. So we're really looking forward to it.
Well, it sounds very, very exciting.
Sorry,
Yeah, okay.
not sorry.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for the applicant? Councilman Weber.
Thank you, Chair Washington. So I used to go to Mars Bar. I was a big fan of that. And I'm just curious if there's any plans on preserving the unique lighting, the lights, the...
Yeah, we actually installed the balls this week. We moved them into the back area, so they'll still be very much a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're paying a little homage to the old Mars space.
Perfect. Okay. I just need to make sure. I feel like that should be a landmark in Lincoln.
I know.
but
I agree.
I'm a little biased, so
Definitely.
I wanted to do my due diligence. Appreciate you preserving that.
Totally.
Councilman Weber, I appreciate your detail.
Absolutely.
Eye to detail. All right, all right. Any other comments, questions? Yes.
So you were nominated for a James Beard Award.
Was, yes.
So what's a James Beard Award?
James Beard Award. So it's a pretty prestigious thing. Only 250 chefs get nominated every year. It's excellence in hospitality, dining, food, and all of the things. So that was pretty great.
And now it's a first for Lincoln that we've had a Lincoln night be nominated, right?
There was the other room when Jill Coxon opened it. She got a nomination as well. I was the first chef in Lincoln to get nominated. Yes.
Very cool. And you're also
Very good.
You're also a
Still
little bit of
there.
a star because you were on the
That's
Food
my
Network.
television, yeah.
Yeah.
I was on Food Network. I was on Chopped last year. Yeah.
Well, thank you for representing Lincoln very well
Absolutely.
on a
Happy
national
to.
stage. So thank you so much for also creating a welcoming environment for people in our community to go to. It really, really means a lot.
Absolutely. That's definitely my goal.
Yeah. Councilman Joe?
Thank you, Madam Chair. When?
We're having a private event for Patty Pansing Brooks on the 26th, and then we will open on October 1st.
October 1st.
Provided we have our license,
Yes.
says the lawyer.
Good cover. Nicely done, and from your mouth to the state's ears.
Indeed.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thank you all.
And we'll be back next week.
Noted that. All right. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on this application? Anyone here who'd like to speak on this application? All right, Madam Clerk, let's move forward.
I'll call item 4E, application of Homegrown Industries Lincoln, doing business as Mellow Mushroom, for the addition of catering license for their Class I liquor license located at 601 R Street, Suite 110.
All right. Is this applicant present? Okay. Not seeing that applicant, let's just move forward. Oh, is anyone else here would like to speak on this item, even without the applicant present?
Madam Chair, seeing no one else coming forward, I'd like to make a motion that we approve items 4A through 4E.
All right.
Second?
Second, Beckius. Any discussion? All right, seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk.
Beckius,
I apologize.
Would you like me to break it up?
Yes,
I will be happy to do that.
apologize. I was not paying attention.
Madam Chair,
sir.
I'd like to amend my motion
Yes.
that we approve items 4C through 4E.
Okay,
You can vote on those.
I will second that.
okay. Thank you very much, and thank you for the clarification. All right, seeing no discussion, then let's vote on 4C, D, and E.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
All right.
And in a separate action, I'd like to make a motion that we approve items 4A and 4B.
And
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you very much. Carlson, second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Bowers,
Yes.
Weber,
yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
All right, thank you very much. All righty, moving on to public hearing resolutions.
I'll call item 5A, approving the interlocal agreement between the City of Lincoln on behalf of the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department and Lancaster County School District 001, commonly known as Lincoln Public Schools, to facilitate recognition of opioid overdose and emergency administration of intranasal naloxone, Narcan.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak on this resolution? Yes.
Health Department.
Yeah.
Yes, good afternoon, David Hum with the Health Department.
Welcome.
And yes, this is a new agreement. However, Lincoln Public Schools, they have had Narcan available at the high school level since 2019, and more recently in the middle school and elementary. And again, this is kind of an emergency measure. So Health Department, we help lead the Overdose Prevention Coalition, and LPS is a member of that coalition, and we've looked for partners to support them and having those resources anyway. And so with other partners, we didn't have to have an interlocal agreement with the LPS district. We did, and so we want to put that before you to continue that program for LPS.
Well, thank you. Are there any comments from, questions from other counselors? Well, I think this is really important. I know that opioid overdoses are a serious health concern in our community as well as across the country, and I really appreciate that LPS and the Health Department are working so well together on this. And hopefully, it won't be necessary.
Correct.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Is anyone else here to speak on this item? All right, Madam Clerk.
Item 5A is approving the interlocal agreement between the City of Lincoln on behalf of the Lincoln Lancaster County Health Department and Lancaster County School District 001, commonly known as Lincoln Public Schools, to facilitate recognition of opioid overdose and emergency administration of intranasal naloxone. Introduced by Weber.
So moved.
Second?
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
All right, let's proceed to public hearing on ordinances, second reading, and related resolutions.
I'll call item 6A, amending Lincoln Municipal Code Section 3.24.080 telecommunication occupation tax by amending the applicable tax rate from 6% to 4% pursuant to state law.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Tim C., Assistant City Attorney, 555 South 10th Street. Just here to quickly introduce this ordinance change. In most recent regular session of the legislature, so last spring, they passed LB 1023. LB 1023 changes state law and sets a new, reduces the cap or reduces the maximum levy rate on telecommunication services. And so this is this action before the council is being taken to bring our ordinance into compliance with that state law. The effect is to reduce the applicable rate from 6% down to 4%. That does result in a reduction in revenue, but that was accounted for in the most recent budget, so there's no adjustments that need to be made for that purpose. That's already been taken into account. And with that, I'd be happy to answer your questions you might have.
Any questions from counselors? Don't see any.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on this item, either in favor or in opposition? Anyone present wanting to speak on this item? All right. We'll move forward.
I'll call items 6B, 6C, and D together. Item 6B, C, and D is approving the North 26th and U Street redevelopment agreement between the city and Marine Development LLC relating to the redevelopment of property generally located at 2517, 2521, 2525, and 2529 Vine Street, and 2540, 2546, 2552, and 2558 U Street, and amending the fiscal year 23-24 CIP to authorize and appropriate $357,706 in increment financing for the North 26th and U redevelopment project, and the tax allocation bonds for the North 26th and U Street redevelopment project.
Good afternoon, Director.
Good afternoon, Peter Hine, Director of Urban Development, 555 South 10th Street. Madam Chair and members of the council, it's great to be here this afternoon to bring this project for the redevelopment agreement. I wanted to just briefly state at the beginning just a couple of things that we've been working on. First of all, to thank Ernie Castillo and Abby Luttrell in our office for their hard work, and the applicant, Mr. Byrd, working through some of the details of the agreement, coming back twice to Urban Development Committee to present the project and to move it forward. Over the last year, I've been here a year and a week. We've been working hard on affordable housing, as you know, and I can report to you that by the end of the year, we're projecting to have created new 454 units of affordable housing. That doesn't count 105 projects we've done in south of downtown and some of the other projects we've done with our LED program. So this is 8 units. And these aren't affordable, but it's important to know that this project is paying $80,700 in lieu of payments into that affordable housing effort to help support that. And so the applicant is agreeable to that, and that's what this project represents. And so I think it's an example of a project as we work through what we know is a national, even global housing crisis, that this is the kind of project, and the diversity of projects we have coming before you, this is one that I think we want to take as serious as the 200-unit project coming towards us. So I'll go through just some of the statistics that we have, and then I'll show you some plans and site plans for the project. So the project, we call it 26th and U redevelopment project. It's got a couple of other names, but that's the one we're using. And Mr. Byrd is the applicant, obviously. So there's 2 buildings that are 4 units each that will have their own access off of what was the alley before, where that has been vacated and is now in ownership of Mr. Byrd. There was a building on site that will be raised for this construction moving forward. The investment is just under $2 million, and the TIF amount is $357,706. So I'll just kind of walk you through the layout of the project. First, as you know, we always begin with the project area, the TIF project area, that essentially captures the public right-of-way around the project. You can see our project is in the red box with the right-of-way. You can see we enter up north on North 26th Street that dead ends at Vine Street, and then we come in from the east down the alley into the project. Showing this more clearly, keeping it in the same orientation with north up, you can see this is 26th Street on the east side with this variety of widths. There's a 24-foot curb cut that comes into the project, and you can see these dark boxes are sort of the property lines, and you can see the project, the garages step back. So in some areas, there's probably 28, 29 feet for space for cars to back in and out. So ample room to have car access to each one of these units and their own garage, I would add as well. And again, also the fronts of the building, you can see the landscaping plan shown here on both Vine Street and U Street. The applicant worked with the neighborhood to provide some gardening, some vegetable gardening, as you know, on site. And some of the TIF proceeds are for landscaping and planting on this. I'll just show some of the three-dimensional depictions of the project. You can see each unit has its own front porch that's individually sort of created for each one of the units. In between, it doesn't show well on the 3D renderings, but because these are set up as townhomes, as I understand it, the applicant is going to be renting these initially, but they are set up for future sale, so they can go into an owner-occupied stock. You'll notice that the air conditioners, the condensers on the middle units would have to be on their lot, and we worked with the applicant to screen some of that with landscaping on each lot. We think the applicant did an admirable job of making the elevations facing the public streets to be scaled as a sort of single-family house, if you will, a little bit different than we saw when they first came to us, but through the nuance of the discussion, got to this point. And then lastly, I'll just share with you our sources and uses. There we go.
Thank you.
Is that better? Is that legible? So you can see on this table our typical sources breakdown that we have, and then you'll see the uses of administration fee and bond counsel fee that are very sort of typical, and the bulk of this is in the site acquisition, and then we have site prep, which was the demolition of the raised house that was there. Utility improvements, that's stormwater for the home, and then facade enhancements going from vinyl siding. We have painted hardy board siding, larger windows, larger porches, etc. And then just streetscape improvements, which are really sidewalks, a little bit of curb, and then some landscaping. So with that, I will open it up to any question. Mark Hunsaker is here representing the owner. Mr. Bird is here as the owner. If there's any questions for them, they'll certainly be happy to come up, but I'll answer any questions that you have for me.
All right. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Wow, there's no questions.
No questions.
I would like to offer my thanks to the developer, Mr. Bird, for the work he did with urban development or urban design, because there were a lot of conversations the 2 or 3 times that he came before them, and I appreciate how they look like single-family townhomes instead of one large multifamily building. So really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think the public process was successful in this case. So we have 3 things in front of you today. We hope that you will be looking at that next week with a positive vote. Thank you very much. I don't know if you all want to come up or if there's any questions for the applicant. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Hunsinger.
Good afternoon. Madam Chair, members of the council, Mark Hunsaker, Rembold Budke Law Firm, 1128 Lincoln Mall, representing Marine Development and Aaron Bird. I'm here mostly because Peter's done such a good job of explaining all this to really just answer questions, and to thank the Urban Development Department in particular for all the work they put into this project. It was not an easy path to get to this point, but we're here now, and we think we're going to make at least a small contribution to the overall need for housing in Lincoln. And thank you all for getting us to this point as well. So if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Councilors?
Okay, thank you.
Good, thank you. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak on this application, either in favor or in opposition? Is there anyone who'd like to speak on this application? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Okay. We can move on to our next section. I'll call item 7A, text amendment 24011, request of Danae Klakowski for an amendment to Lincoln Municipal Code Section 27.59.060, permit required, procedures, certifications, exception to expand the ability to obtain blanket height permits on areas within the airport hazard area that have an elevation of more than 100 feet, but not more than 115 feet above the elevation on the nearest existing or proposed runway and in residential areas, and to remove the requirement for post-construction certification for single-family and two-family homes within the blanket height permit area, provided certain conditions are met. Introduced by Shob.
So moved.
Second, Carlson. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Beckius,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Duden,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. That concludes section 7. Section 8 is resolutions. First readings are items 8A through 8K. Section 9 is ordinances. First reading and related resolutions are items 9A through 9G. And section 10 is our pending list, items 10A through 10H.
All right. That concludes all the items on the agenda today. I would accept a motion for adjournment.
Madam Chair, I would move we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Not on the first Monday of the month. Public comment sessions will be provided on the second meeting of the month, which is September 16th and September 30th.
I'll just provide you some information.
You may leave that with us. Thank you. All right, so we have a motion for adjournment from Councilman Beckius and a second from Duden.
Yes.
Madam Clerk?
Duden,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Shob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes,
Motion carried 7-0.
we're adjourned.